Ji long temba tar sejti poke te yoporin mundu a. De Matthew. De te chendu a. Mundu a. The complying with her instructions. The country mark long temba no just ta lama dance. Ta telo do naroni loju ma song sangasam. Kaba tami goni telo pa temba tsena. Telo pa shani mdatsan tencho mugo wa shi son ten chalham chi tarwa nabi nilu ju to pa shi ti lama to gompa nyamba jarwa son ta thamni injing thola te chi khat she tsar son jire ju do telo pa ti telo du te tangamala naru chu chalong so sedu te cholan tseon de lama han su zong zaza zo te tongza zong de nyengo lo kao si jede tani chire jo de naru ombo shono de ombo yo set satna ta telo no jaset sa de tenda wo set tan chalham ki travel na peace ti dab yondu nilu ju to pa chi de lama do gomba nyam bar ju and next one is I don't need to really read for you. Why? Because it's already on the board. They're talking, I taught. Here is like talking about how to narrow follow up the telos. Here is to follow telopa and introduce numeral tiles, tiles that are complying with his instructions. Following his instruction, I think styles. And one day, I think it's like maybe he like kind of the introduced some numeral tiles. And historically, as I think he didn't numeral to throw to the narrow, and just for fun with telo, narrow. Then it's like Telo said to him, I think above I already told to you. Like he asked, can you bring water? I want to make, the women make tea. And Naros bring the water and Telo's waiting, holding his shoes. And in speed of the everything, and I have told you, and that means it's like kind of he told a lot to the Naros. You still haven't understood, but Telo nothing to taught, and still Telo say like this, and it's a liar, yes. But it's like saying you don't understood, and hit him on the forehead with his sandal, then the kind of the shoes. At that instant, Naropa realized the natural state, and the wisdom became identical with Telo's teachers. Like a teacher and student is absolutely is become this kind of many happened, and good teacher, good students. Sometimes is I think these days it's like nobody's existence this, and teachers all the time scaring to the student. Student is also all the time curiosity, and to like kind of it's not only in our westerns or everywhere. And teachers to say something, student is also saying, many in Tibet come to say it's like this. Then it's absolutely this kind of systems already gone. Maybe there are some teachers the same realization echo of the Telot, but and difficult to student. Maybe student is like same as equal of the Narod, but maybe also teacher is very difficult to find same equal the Telu like this. Then next one is Lopon Papa Leji Nanapi Dorva Lu Hyongchi Zanji Longni Long Xuebi Chokung Topa Xiebasan that they did the Bangam Papa Lejuk Kungli the Malam Deva Yopatandachi Dorva Lu Hyongchi Zanji Kong Luman Sangale Dog Longni Long Yos the Lejak Snatch by your tone pound. The low material sandwood, Ronchung Topa and the Hiso. Tenda would the big Gallicavers. Next one is Nanga Juna and his like kind of students. It also said that Nanga Junas, Nanga Bodhi, attained superior accomplishment. Nanga Bodhi is, I think, the disciple of the Nanga Junas. By the snatching up, and snatching up, what is the snatch up, or quickly take something. Snatching up and the eating a piece of the snot. The Nanga Junak. And the students all run to pick up it. Piece of the adopted by the noble master Nagarjuna. He is liberated. And so they in the Rinzin Jimmy in Biharni Chong, Kovichu Jervani Pass, Tandika Sonra Tony Song, Rinzin Jimmy Limbate, the Longchen Pakta. Yes, you make Jesus on the gonna consume Jimachap Tepa Himato, Jimmy Limbaton, Longchamp, and Pala, Lo Mumbo Yuli. In the sum Jimachap Shurm do Tepa Hita, Longchamp, and that your manual system. The La Covicheri Jervani Person Tuni, so Jervani pa Longchampa. This song Tuni, Sonji Uyan the Hituma, Mayan Pajella Hite pursues the Sora Tapis on that. Kong Kiridu Sonji Tatela, Dorjen Chong, Kondozombo Rendu, Sani Tepa, Zechi, Mini Chumachur, Luni Papa, Shawni Tarmoya, Nyansenigal Lamananjo, Longchamp, Lamananjo, Tilla Jachatandi, so Sondu, then it Jerido, Sora Tapi, Yeshi Juku Jesus owns, Yeshi could Jesus owns the matter. Konambani Yardo Yarnatsu Mutu to raise Mari Longchamp Patron Parchilo Janji, Retsayo Mundo, Palatanda Jogo, Yolaka. The Yijas was angle. Yija, the sweet Ngurum Buchin, that just to heat shade in the Tamata. Yes, he could Jesus on the Ronjon, Tofa Jolla here, and Tofa Ronju Jolla here, 2 tennis on the Hiva Pojato. Tarwa Tomchin Chambu Gompong la Tuta Payan song. That Pache Pokava Gonjang Jones, Zohua Chambu Nanjur Pachilla, Gunchin Jimmy Limbana, Savan Pachi you Manum Pagre, the Tandaria. That it is the Longchen Pat. You matter you let the Tenda Wanda Yunadum tell ho, come on. Take it to the Kong Chimbo Lojo Mahite, Lamal Mugu Chimbo, Tepa Chimbozo. Then song Tanda Samuton you let it. Lama Sumbu la Tepa Yana, Tepa Yongumandu, Jason Ron Tugumandu, Lama Ti Kinsangada. Ndi Park Lamandanda Jilangi, Lama Ten the Cholis, Nala Tua Trinoto. That ten reasons Jimin under you a Sinamato, Yardu, the Upo you the Tiol. Yeshu Jesus on the wrong young Tobajala Heni to Tennis Zonte, Hivapo, Jatron, Chocho, Mombola Conke, Niluku Trotapni. Then it is Sango Tom. Jimmy Limba Pegna Yana Kamshol and Jimmy Jarvan Yoguzan, then it is Jimmy was and Jimmy Nam Jusejo. Those also Lama Lord Young Adula Ten, City Songi Top, the Lomak, Loma, Lomil Homa, Trumbum, the Lizo the Chon Taru, Gompong La, Gupat and Rachilaman. They did the Lama Nanjuk, and the young rest. Next one is the Jimmy Limbas. His eldest piece of a story. Rinzan Jime Limba says, that the owner, founder of the Heart Essence Vast Expanse, Longchen Hintik. And this history is, as I think yesterday, Mr. Google's carrying. If you want, he can give you, okay? There is the biography of the Jigme. And who saw the writings of the has a second Buddha. Here the second Buddha is the Longchen Pas. And he saw that Longchen Pas book like a really like extraordinary, unshakable, irreversible faith has, and like this. And then it's done under that he was genuinely the Buddha said. And he's like kind of the inconceivable. His attention is, Longchenpa is really like Buddha, second Buddha. He was. And then he prayed to him like his Guru Yoga. Now it's like we have in the Longchen Tile Jachin when we are practice. This is the Guru Yoga for the Longchenpa. The great, like the fears, fear, I think is a wonderful word, but it's difficult to say. Why? Because I'm good English. Wow. Oh. Fervent. My teacher there. Fervent, really fervently, clearly, vividly, deeply. And he like prayed to the second Buddha of the Longchen Pas. And that is like normally Longchenpa and Jigme Rinpoche between there is many years. I said 100, 200 in Cambodia. No, 400. And then he's correct, you know. But his sound is very nice, you know. 400. But I think maybe some students beat to his mouth. Maybe. No? I don't know. Okay. Like 4 years, 400. Even this guy cannot say, you know. When Campbell he says, like, my mind is astonished. 400. And here's he appeared to him in a vision. And accepted like him simultaneous or spontaneous realization was born within, he say, me. Me is like he accepted as his student. And I think it's like like kind of the vision is 3 times. Then it's the last, then it's really like talking same as humans to human. And then is that moment he realized that true nature of the reality, his wisdom mind opened, and then he's become the extraordinary learned. And then it's like he wrote, revealed like a Longchen Pas, all the hard teachings. Then he called the Longchen Hintit. And from that day forth, I have been able to guide over 100 disciples, not hundreds. Even like he's in the camp in East Tibetans, I told you, Principal Patrul Rinpoche student, Jigme Jarvanyaga, Cholong Rigpa Tamsikdor, like Jigme, the Dorji Dongchen usage, like principle, there is 4 Vajas. And like this, all of them, Jigme Rinpoche, like disciples, is like become like a Longchenpa. and students like kind of student, maybe thousands and thousands like disciples afterwards, and the liberators. So you jin jikten per santen lin nam par shira jan toksho ju shos mugu don't tombe toksul mugu ju son lan temba shato shung oson techere se chen ji country chen kunchen jimmi limbo loma to so lo yong se ye chenbo ma zo le ma zun ju jin jikten per santen li nam par son de 제레주도 지 달라 지 something 지 감지 존주 첨보 주소 던다 좀 첨보 주로 좀 something 감요 지 동동력 고는다 다 제레주도 한 현니도 한동 던다 감지 피 직된리 디파세 달라 존주 지 직된 버 something 리 남은 퍼스 단데 제레주도 직된 something 다치나 지 zume hinchi zukam niri chadanda zume hinchi majindanda tandala se teli yan romotot tandala shira toksho chanji shos mukul se de chere chejina shirap chen topi shopazo se topi shopazo nam top topwa ko shopazo ni nilu tandire yansanga mansanga re marese tam chere do tondam hanchi si pi yeshi se runi ki yeshi rong yok santen se jure to chire rong sankte tenda tokyo ko shosa mahu santen so gam jen du samche chere jito jikten pa santen le tanda yo nam ham pa maripa ta kare jana don don pa toksu mugu ju son lan temba shato shong son chere jito kunchen jime lim te hlumma to so te perna chere jito jime jarbe ne gol don tamba se tam tu tuinal the dondon hanchi hi bieshi songdu jite don tamba tatupa yonlu matupa sang nilu nanda se nyuma hanchi hi bieshi se de nyuma hanchi ko ton ne yot dujika hanchi hi bieshi tela se don tamba toksul to so kandi so toksul dona mu lam nanjot la ten ti son la ten tene che do tondang han chi hi pa to something gam da jen du mombo do chi shirab ko to sho mombo ye ji zo pa jen du da tana yin le ma kun chen ji me ko de hloma to so gam da da ye lam nan jo khona la tanda lam nan jo ni par che de sa hya tong ni ma to so ma sa do lama zo chimbo zo zle je de yin na yo ma zo de boku chuji chimbo yuhnoni kadyo pate hajong lama to chele to thomani ke telo do naru do marwa mlani jetyong do lama khuna mato lojonga mumbo mepa lami choson kajang dot chante lama tofa nyam do tofa yerme lomal puni lama le hlumali zapa hlumali yung lop zap ni mundanda ai lama te tanda te tilhoma te taru lama le zabgundu samba tanda yangshu rendu sansang re tanda mongle ga je shongda to ni shon ni tanda ham chimbo te tamasai wajire te yana kunchen jime limbe sor te so na chin yung tandi zo ji gen ko gam je jindanda yole tanda do ji so jongda mumbu ga zo mugu patik jere zo ji mugu song la yarni c'est de tepa mugu lam yammonjo lam nanjola ten tandi zondo de ni lukton tondo golere sonta muni re ko karambore oya now it's the continue the next sentences he says that how it is the Jigme Limbas guided over 100 disciples the diligent ones would not have advanced beyond worldly concentrations. This is kind of the worldly not, and kind of the like how do you say continue or like kind of the step by step and very diligently to meditate, like concentrations. And these things is like kind of sometimes very difficult to go beyond the like worldly concentrations. Worldly concentration, and maybe is the worldly concentrations more result like a kind of the level of the formed elements and formless elements, and not like this. And also the intelligent ones would have stayed into intellectualizations, into the intellectual realizations. And what is that? Stared means, for example, some intelligence, they using analysis, or logicals, and to say that the natural, the innate, absolute, the primordial wisdoms, maybe like this, maybe like that, oh no, oh yes, there is one Lama's teachings. This the Buddhist so-called, they say, yes, yes, and this so-called, they say, no, no. Like this, yes, no, and then it's like whole life is yes, no spent, not like this. This is straight, like wrong path, and through this is like kind of the do not fall, do not like this, and then it's like how it is happens. Is they only realize the absolute truth because they were driven by the counterbalancing force of theirs, the devotions, counterbalance, like focusly and emphasizedly. Maybe Campbell can say this sound.
Counterbalance.
Counterbalancing. In Tibet there is a song in that there. Counterbalancing. Dogon Shamasa counterbalancing says Gender Yansango means Talaja. Glasses, without glasses. The counterbalance is like kind of, how to call the scare, yes? This is like kind of the checking. In briefly counterbalancing, it is like kind of to focus on the force of their devotions, absolutely to rely on the Guru Yoga and unshakable, like a kind of the devotion, and through this, and then they realize that absolute truth. Therefore, the Guru Yoga is absolutely so fantastic and the best path. And then next on, there is another histories. There in the Loshen Berotana, Dharma Tavron, the Hupute, Pongen Mohangombo Hishawa, Gembo Lo Jechundroa, Shende Gehi Kobashila, Gomtok Lulatin, Gomten Kela, Tsuk the Hyanla Lama Lamcher, Ndatambi, Kadok Chechu, Yugompa, Manorva Jella Hite, Ludaten, Tang, Ni Sonji Paso, Yempi Son, and the Lord you pay Hachong the opportunity. Karayole is in a Pula. Guru Rinpoche, Hlumaknoni, shoot the Javate, Loshen Berotsanare. Then Loshen Berotsanate, Tonsa Pode, then Guru Rinpoche, to see Jimbonia Stanganon, Zubochire. Then Guru Rinpoche, Jerezu, the Tarun, Chu Mumbochi, Jorgok, Son, and Troson Desenko, Jagalama, Jagarani Jerezu, the Konk, some Moshap, Jet, thank you, Mumbo, Shin Tali Lomak Tola, Yigetini. Shogmaland Tana, Tani Pol Macarons. They Kong Tions, Tali Loma Soma, Nahamo, Dzogchen La, Trukjur, Kong, Samini, choten him the Tewoni land, Hajum, Tiamo change. Tandra can keep and Burut and a Germo Tarbo Ron Sejite, Germo Tarbo Ron Tinson Canare Edzina, Trongun Yon Rosak, Tilomba non road, that Makam Celery, Tetsomala Germo Tarbo Ronsa. Hugh Sejite, Pa Puggles, Volasel. That is to do the Guru Rinpoche, you will take up Bumbo Samjimachap, shoot Chimbo Yundu, Tusun Desenla, Labni, Tatimbero the Jagala Sony. Dukchong Kurdios, Tangatsula Mogo, Mepazogo, Cosedo, Sego Sango Sedo, then Toson the stage changing that some Jim Mashapo, Karchanchi, Yante Yena, Papa Yona Chogre Songo. The Kanapogre said, Tanikon Jarmotsarona, Dakin Yopa Zigni, the Jarmotsaron like me Puggle. Then Jarmotsaron Pando Tranla, the nature is the Kun some Jim Machapo, Chimbo, Lama, Luma, Mumbo, Yole. Tene ti pelamka hil tanala yor tenala trumbo chila mahangum bo sem chi trumbo chot to chere se china ko lo jash thambar yana ti bero chana ko lo jure thu yong de tanala ta khor chere to ta ku ji du ka de yana tandra chi chendala ji asana lama chi so tande so khor chere to sonde mom che chi len bero chana jinjar thana a hi tande so the Shanda Gehi Kofadinata, Pindarnus Yom, Taki is the Kado to some Cambo Yahan Retzum, like you in the zone. Check sorry, I will translate, okay? Translate. And Gehi Kofazid and Dandum Tandajid. Then Nimajila Goji Don, the Koro Goji Shetana, Trumbonium, Ramon Ni Leader. The Chiri did Berotana, Chik Konkuloma, Idrahim Bose Jul, Konkuloma Yoshu, the Terim Berotan, Kun Nambaniga Tanizod, Kun Nambanigala, Chachi the Tandachitero, also said, Tron Mohangombok, Cheni Kani Museums. Many Janmosarron, Yonzin said, didn't the Tongan say, Darn Dumoto, Gay Kopachenta, changing a gender son of member, that Janmosarron and keep and Berot and a Jure, Tamanji Chozole, Tangana, Lontombo, Retsari, Ab Chozogore, telling Berot and a Chot, Berot and a Tanda Tepa Yosido, that send the Latin Jats and Tazin Jana, some done delay and son. Then you conquered Simazene. Berotana sendung kan tingare son ta lamma kunjo konti gani pa sharm do te pa hieni teni jere do kona ta che dangma no chi sed teni kong ko gam je zi ta fa yo to kor ko lula chi gom ten jena jere do nam byen da china indi meaning go na le zo yo teni gam je le to kong ko kela zu yo ju teni hyang la nam nan jor do song Tudutanala, Timberotana, Tudusons, Tom Mohangombola, Tinson Shole, ni look mote. Tenicheri to Nana Cado to Chechu Tabase. Cado said Tonyuk Tabala Segre. Gani Taba, Yeni Topasi Terry. The Chechut Segana, the Jerejudo, the Cadok Jensin Davari. Cadok Tabate, Yona, Chechut, Numu Jetty Yoton, Katy memory, Jumble, Tiggy General. Dog Jerry to Kadok Tawa Yona, Tela Jerry to Chechuk Yamne Segana, Kadok Tawa the Yamne Zoyondu, Tela Chechuk Gamche, Namjenda in a Chechu to Togalni, Kadok the Hundreds Kaha Eva. Chechu said the Kadok Chechu Dabur. Kadok said the Zofachim Tawala, Kadok Sever. The Gompa Manor, Jola Heni, Plumog, Yomogupa, Tepi, the Tofa Chan round. He looked the tent thing, jolly thing, soon jipaso, yans reason. I think this next one is I'm just talking about the history of the Merotana. Okay? Here's during the periods of the exile in Jalmutsabaron, the great Lotsaba Merotana. Here is like kind of the one period, and during the Guru Rinpoche's I think the Beruchana is the best student of the Guru Rinpoche's, and Guru Rinpoche's recognized. And the beginning is like kind of the established in Buddha Dharma in Tibet. And then it's like Trosung Detsen was a little bit kind of sad. Who can to study like this? Maybe it's like me, other adults to study, like difficult. Then Guru Rinpoche searching which is reincarnation. And then he found the first Berotsana. Then after he has 25 disciples, extraordinary. And he gave transmission and the teaching of the great perfections. And someone's fly, someone's eating rock, someone's like riding the light rays of the sun. And the Berotsanas become like automatically scholar. And then during the periods of these exiles, exile in Jarmataru, and also Berotsana went to India, Guru Rinpoche sent it. And he was in Nalanda, and also he studied a lot. Then, but he didn't study much sutta all the time, authentic. Particularly like some is like extraordinary teaching, great perfections. And then it's like he practiced community, like fast. And like this is even that there's a fast like kind of aeroplane. He's become like this, like we call the fast, the cities. This is like in the feet, this become like this. And then he come back and then start to translating. When he was in India, he's very intelligent. And in India, difficult to find the paper. And then it's like he's like bananas leaf to dye up. And then banana, this leaf you can cut. You can make beautiful paper to make notes. And he wrote it as like in the banana leaf, and he brought. I saw one. One is in the Dzogchen Monastery Lama. He went in the Samyi, and during the revolution, there's one stupa is destroyed. They like kind of the consecrated this Berutsana's notes, put it inside. He got it. He has like this, like really bananas leaf, and also is Berutsana's handwriting, so beautiful. And this is like exiled in the Jarmotavaru. Jarmotavaru, some student, maybe you know where it is in Tibet. You know, like when you arrive for Trongo, not from the Tao, you know, go in the Trongo, Kordon monasteries, you go there. And the Trongo, and then this left line there is very, very like high valley. This is we call the Jarmotavaru. The Berotsana is from Central Tibetan to kick out there. And then a great translating Berotsana. And then there is one old man, like the Pung Moham Gombos, the old, like a beggar, and his name is the Pung Moham Gombo. And who to take the teacher's blessing as the path. Moham Gombo has like kind of 80 years old, 80, and strive with old age and shaking. I say like kind of the old, like this. Berotsana tied his bodies upright with the meditation band. Meditation band is the belt. And they made him rest his head on a meditation support. Normally, it's when you are sometimes meditating like this, your head go like this. In some meditators, they put here one stick, and like they put here, and then you can, because it's like Maham Gombo's too old, and he cannot meditate like this, his head like this. And then it's and he put his like a band and a stick put in the head, and then give instruction. Then he's immediately he become the enlightenment, and like this. Here is the histories. One day, near the Moham Gombos area, and Beruzana like kind of coming, like looks like also bigger, and carrying this stick and a big bag. He has with his own student, best student, and Yedan Nimbo said, maybe you can to hear in his stories. His name is Yedan Nimbo. And like this, I make the joke, there is one, how they met is like this, Like this is like Mohangumbo, and this is like Mberotsana, okay, I make joke. And near there is his student, the Yedanyimbo, like this. And then one day, Mohangumbo, the beggar of the Mohangumbo's door, someone's knocked. And then he opened, there's a true like kind of the travelers, like looks like a monk arrived. And then they ask some food or clean. And then he said, Mohangumbo said, where are you come from? Like then I make joke why I'm laughing. So he said, looks like Campbell's man. Where are you come from? So, now you are not to laugh, okay? Do not need laugh because you become sad. And then the Berotana said, we come from Jarmo on this. Jarmo like it's unlucky, unfortunate. Why you come? Have you met the Berotanas? First they say maybe not. It's like I heard there's one Buddha, Berotana. But I'm 80 years old. I cannot go to there. But I'm pray day and night with devotion. And if I met once Berotana, then I'm really totally, I'm like satisfied. How I can? Then Berotana said, do you have the faith, devotion? He said, speechless. I cannot say I have. He's crying. And then it's like Berotana's very like kind of slow. Someone's they're calling to me as the Berotana's. Then it's the old guy. I'm lucky I met you. Please, could you give me instructions? And then he put this bandage under there and then someone said it's like his Berotana stick put into his heart. And then he introduced the natural realities. We have there's 2 or 3 pages. We have still these instructions. And then he became the enlightenment. And how it is the Maham Gombo's experience realization of the primordial purity of the teacher without error. His body dissolved into the infinitesimals, or I don't know. It's like there is a question and they put this. Infinital is 10. And extremely small, infinitesimal. Like I think is this word is beating me, and they're reading to me.
Infinitesimal.
Infinitesimal.
Infinitesimally. Infinitesimal.
Now I understand it's infinitesimal, like kind of like the 10, like particles. That means it's like become the rainbow particles, and he attained Buddhahood immediately. Like therefore, you like kind of the with devotion to visit direct your own teacher, and unshakable, unmistakable. And without any kind of the combinated doubt like this. And then is qualified teachers like this. And we should to search. When we find some is the qualified teachers, maybe it's like continue to follow and like this. Ndali lhapa salam tepa rumba gu chu hyar darchung manye te min de hundru tokchung dan de ngu yi lam tam ji ji ningo tatu pa te yambi song. Dan den da wu jere ju de lam nan jo ku chut ndu so nda ji la ten is ndali lhapa lam sap. I think I didn't the told to you. Here's the Mahon Gombo's experience realization of the primordial purities. Primordial purity, it is normally often be used like a kataksil, and sometimes like a kind of the primordial purities. At the beginning purity, innately purities. That is like the ground of our nature, reality. This is called is the teacher, like a cutting through the teacher. This is like kind of the explain the qualities of the alpha purities, sometimes primordial purities. And normally there is the Dzogchen traditions, there's two meditations, the alpha purity teacher meditation, or spontaneous, or the leap over meditation is a spontaneous present. Like this, alpha purity is like a representative emptiness, spontaneous present or leap over is a representative of the luminosities. And without error means no mistakenly, and in his body dissolved. On this his life, and then he become the Buddhahood. And therefore next one. And the Dali Lapu Lamsan, Teparamba Gok Chu Hyar Dorchum Manyete, Min the Hundred Tokchum Santa, then there is the Hopok Sapa se, Dali Hop Sapa, Ting Sapa, Shanla Chimbo, Nurwok Lamna, Teparamba Gose, Teparamba Gosetana, Sanyaka Tepa Sun, Durva, Dodi, Umbadin, Sun. Then it Shajit Desan, Taya, Upa Yuka, no Jit Desante, Maha and after some Tela Teparamba Gose. Ti Chu Jerdo Shar Dardina, Tsuma Teparamba Keshahini, Lam Samuti Candidates and is Shard the Keshahidina. Lam and Joko Lam Samochi, Teparamba Goganola, Yojimaris, Yumars, Maneti. The main la hundreds of tower, Nijuk Sordas, hundreds it's a dingato, Mamon and the Jita, Jikori, Comband in the Yenda, ready, the Yenaji, Messan, that is only the mean top Jones. Turn wood here, turn the Mulan Tom Chit, Nengo, Tatupa, Tayan Beso, turn the Mujik. Pena the Kuru Mumago, Segana, Truck Mumago Cola, Mujik Lam, Tichuk, the Tudison and the Tugal Tudison and Oya Tandiola, Tedok is Ripa Motuk, musical tupper. Then I will lam yolere, musical lam tom chich, Nengo, Tatu Pandandati, Lam Lamananjundala to the Yolere, Yambi, Jetudo number Tomchin, the Kunala Nyanglan, Tulkuna, Yomo Yolere, Jeris Nyanglan, Jayong made your own be Nin Topa, Nipa, Jenny Jokal, Cheo song. Patramochango Danhola Tandiso, do number Tomche, do Depa, Tata Maumpa, do no Shopa, Nyang Gonda, Jered do two Nyansen to Kado, Yana, number Tomchet, Ndo Kunala, the Matos, Kona Sitting Nizon, De Mato Yankona Go Mareso, Nyanlan and Tulzina, Jered Zun that in the zoning, turn Dola Jona. Takare to Nyanlan Yan Jayong made your wrongly, some ditchulity. Hin Topan Bepa Jenny John Calchivo, Calchivo said the Jesuit, Dharma, and this. Now, as a next one is, and you compare this teaching, which is the teaching of the Guru Yoga, with any others from all the 9 yanas. 9 yana is the really is 18,000 all the Buddha's teachings to resume. Of course, you know the 9 yana. Some new student, they say, what is the 9 yanas? There is like 3 outer tantras, 3 outer like kind of the teachings. This is like the Vinayana, Sutayana, Abhidamayana. Yesterday we talking about the Tripitaka. Tripitaka, three yana. This is like kind of based in the sutta teaching. Then in the authentic teaching, there is the six like teaching. Three is outer tantra, Traya, Upper, Yoga, three. Then is three inner teaching, great perfections. Mahayoga, Ani Yoga, Ati Yoga. This is like we call the 9 yanas. But you will never find path better, more like profound than this. If maybe collect preliminary practice. Maybe you call the like insultedly, like kind of the putting downly. You call the this is preliminary practice, and this Guru Yoga's teaching in the preliminary practice. Generally, many Buddhist people they say, you study preliminary practice, preliminary practice. I'm fed. I don't want. I want to receive directors. And some is like particularly some nimas, okay? And what are you practice? Practice alpha purity. What did you practice? Lip overs. You practice hundreds, preliminary practice already done. Now it's too much for me. It's not that as important. But actually the most important, it is the preliminary practice. Here is said, you compare this teaching, all the 9 yanas, it's like they talking, Yep. 9 yanas, they talking. In our 9 yana groups, yanas is a vehicle. And inside, what is the profound path? Which ones? And outer, like suttas, inner, enter, they're talking like this. They couldn't find. Finally, most profound, such a kind of the powerful path is the Guru Yoga. And they found them, and only like they never found in the 9 yanas, they're better than the Guru Yoga. And then Guru Yoga, here is the called your preliminary practice. But in fact, this is the ultimate key point of all the main practice. In here is like kind of in the preliminary practice, we'll look in the Hundru. And inside you have a generation stage, dissolution stage you have. And all the inside visualization, different type of the deities. And each moment, even the outer preliminary practice, telling to us how it is the human existence, impermanent, defects of the samsara, inevitable of the causalities. This kind of educations make our mind is soft, like a kind of the very much make interest, inspired. Oh yeah, now I need to practice dharmas, automatically arousing the renunciation and the bodhicittas. Now I understood the sentient beings, same as ourselves. Then in the preliminary practice, refugee prayer, the first chapter is refugees. We understood the Buddha, we understood Dharma, we understood the Sanghas, and then it's like kind of the arousing bodhicittas. Inside you have there's relative bodhicitta, absolute bodhicitta. In the relative bodhicittas, there's the aspiration bodhicitta. How are you talking about aspiration bodhicitta? Hey, now we need to pray. You pray, generate in the bodhicitta in your heart. You choose seed, and may all sentient beings. You only to pray. It's not your practice application bodhicitta. That is difficult. To pray is very important. Maybe we be in the path of the accumulation and the junctions. Very important to pray. Then you talking about the like a kind of the applications, how it is. And then like kind of you talking about the 6 transcendent. And then after like kind of you talking about absolute truth. Absolute bodhicittas relate to your innate absolute the wisdom. And then you studied. Almost you don't need to actually teachings. There is Vajrasavas, mandalas, acute practice, and then is absolute in Guru Yoga. Therefore, we say the facts, but in fact, this is the ultimate key point of all the main teachings. And Guru Rinpoche is really Guru Rinpoche, Patrul Rinpoche, to kind of the give advice to mention this alone. If you always and every situations always, morning, lunchtime, in the evening, and kind of all the 24 hours always. Or is it every situation? You are wake up, drink, taking breakfast, lunch, working, chatting, and all the time is any kind of situation. Make it the heart of your practice principle. Basic to practice the Guru Yoga is the best, and therefore is enough. Even if you practice nothing else, but this is single meditations that included all the meditations. If it's of the utmost importance, therefore, that you dedicate yourself to it from the very depth of your being and your heart. And this is really give advice. It is you should to only kind of demonstrate or to undertake the Guru Yoga path. And the deep depths of the kind of the honesty, a kind of this you should to practice the Guru Yoga, and a kind of to make the pleasant, you really is a qualified teacher through your body belonging and the virtuous things. And a kind of the, and this, and then probably if you make pleasant your own the teachers, you make pleasant all the 1,100 deities, all the past Buddha, present Buddha, futures Buddha, because your perspective, your own qualified teachers, just a symbolic or fake teachers, then they're just them. Qualified teacher, if we find that really fervently we need to holding. Just I don't know, I follow or not, and become Campbell's mouth, then lost opportunity, and then it's okay, we just not necessary. Even the Buddha is up here, how many we have human beings? There are few, maybe millions is follow, maybe few hundred millions followed, but most majorities is not. And then what can Buddhas to do? This, it's really you want to realize the nature, you want to become the same as Buddha, we need to rely on the qualifier, qualification, or this you cannot say, coffee masters, okay. Chokyi lili zo yatsat, deta lili zo lamani, pi lili zo yatsat kon, shagi tisan jizu. Ola su, just
Before maybe you change a little bit your explanation, because before you would say that all the 9 yana, they are included in this